The fifth day that I was going to show you, this is Crucifixion, and that's a wonderful day in his life, and you ought to just look at that day and see all the 20 different events that took place at his crucifixion. The sixth day was his resurrection. What a shock that was to Satan and the underworld. And the seventh day is his ascension. And the ascension is when Christ was exalted as king. And I'll just close with this because it's amazing that Jesus, when he entered into heaven at the ascension, I'm sure that they were really looking on because other people had been coming. You know, he had brought in all these stragglers, all these people that he brought from the netherworld after his cross. He hadn't yet ascended. He just brought them up there. All the people in Hades that were in paradise side. But this was the first one that didn't come by mercy. This one came by his own merits. He was better than all the rest. He came triumphantly. It says in Psalm 24, the Lord strong and mighty, the Lord triumphant came in. He came exalted, and God gave him a name. It says in Philippians 2 that when he ascended up, that God gave him a name which is above every name. Do you know what name God gave him? Jesus. I mean, and it's the same name we know him as. It was a name that was placarded on the top of the cross, and it was a name that was scoffed by all those back then that hated him. It was a name that was loved by his own, and it's the name we know him as. And at his ascension, he came as our wounded God, and he came home, and he came there wounded for us. And in the words of the hymn writer W.G. Ovens, he wrote this: when Christ ascended, he came wounded for me, wounded for me. There on the cross, Christ was wounded for me. Gone my transgressions, and now I can sing, all because Jesus was wounded for me. 7 days in the life of Jesus Christ. We only really got to cover 3 of them in any depth. I hope you'll look up the other 4 and the other 45 and get to know the life of Christ.